Hey, good evening, everybody. It is the champion principal. How you guys doing this evening? Hey, we're trying to keep these videos rolling out. Some of you know you just saw me, Miss Frazier, Miss Williams. We did a series on her show, um, For the Love of Prison Wives, and it's an excellent show. And we started talking about literacy, the school to prison pipeline, but I have a series coming that deals with the school to prison pipeline. So I want to give you just a little snippet of it today. And so, guys, when you talk about the school to prison pipeline, some people say, "Hey, it's a myth. It's not real." Guys, it's real. It's very real. Now, I don't think that school systems intentionally created this pipeline. I don't even think school systems actually really understand it. And I really don't know if they are equipped to deal with this pipeline. But it's real. It's the real deal and it's serious. And so when you look at educating people, when you look at educating our boys and girls, what's the first thing that comes to your mind? When you think about the problems, number one, you think about boys. And when you think about boys, the next thing you think about is black boys. That seems to be our most challenging area. We don't know what to do with black boys. Then you have the school to prison pipeline. Being that a lot of times it seems the school systems do not know what to do with these boys, they end up getting lost in this pipeline of illiteracy, this pipeline of not knowing what to do with them when it comes to their behavior. And just, I know years ago, putting them in special education, suspending them, and things of that nature, which leads into the pipeline. So you say, "Hey, Doc, tell me more about it." So when I look at the pipeline, here's some things that I see. It's not just one. It's just not just the school. I think, like some of the great researchers, they talked about it and they shared it. I think, number one, we still have to have a good foundation at home. We cannot get away from that. I would never get away from saying that we need to have a good foundation at home. We need a foundation. So we have to make sure we lay that foundation for our boys at home. Fathers, that means we need you to be a part of your child's life. They cannot be what they do not see. Guys, it's almost impossible for our boys to model good behavior if they haven't seen good behavior. It's hard for them to dress the right way if you've never showed them how to dress the right way. If you've never showed them how to clean and cook and how to be a model and be a husband or to be just be a man in general. It's very, very difficult that they're going to magically know how to do it. That's why I love the opportunity to raise my son. I'm blessed and I'm thankful so I can show him many of these things. Of course, his mom showed him a lot as well, but I get an opportunity to show him many things. Too often, I think it's by default, the mothers spend more time raising the girls and just kind of like loving the boys, just I do anything for baby boy, just loving baby boy. But you forgot to train baby boy and teach baby boy all these things. You're giving him all this love, which is in the long run is which is going to hurt him. You have to train him, like I said, how to cook, clean, and take care of himself and be a young man as well. To go to church and things of that nature. But a lot of times we drop the ball because we're just so busy bailing them out, raising them, taking care of baby boy, while you making sure that daughter is responsible. Those are some of the issues that I see so far. Again, fathers, they're absent from the household. Over 50 years ago, you saw a lot of fathers in the household. But now, many fathers are not in the household to model and teach those boys how to have good behavior, to hold them accountable with discipline, respect, how to do the basic things in life. They just don't know. The father's not there. Guys, it's insanity to think that these boys can grow up to be men and they did not have a man, whether it's a father, the uncle, the cousin, somebody, their mentor, somebody being there positive to show them the right way. It's like you just threw them out there and then let the mom do the best she can. But mom's spending most of her time loving him because she got to work. So she got to love baby boy. So we got to get away from that. So we fathers got to take our rightful roles to assist and raise these boys. How did they get on the prison pipeline? School to prison pipeline? Fathers, we dropped the ball. Most of these boys are in single parent households. I ain't saying that they can't be raised in single parent households, but it sure would help if you had a strong father, role model, mentor right there assisting these boys. We have to do better. Now, when we get to the schoolhouse, let's be honest about it. In my 20 years of education, I've seen some great teachers, I've seen some terrible teachers, and some great principals, some terrible principals. But look, the biggest problem is with the boys, right? Look who's teaching the boys. We have the mom at home raising them, then you have mostly female teachers who are dealing with these boys in the classroom. Yeah, some of them are doing a great job. And I'm not saying that they can't teach. I'm not saying that they can't um, educate our boys. But just imagine, some of these boys have not seen a male educator probably until they hit high school, in some cases middle school. So again, you got all of these years where the boys basically being raised by mom. Then you got the teacher educating them. And just think about it like this for a second. The teachers are doing a great job. They're doing the best they can. But guess who? Think about it. The teachers are basically trying to educate these boys, discipline these boys. Their classrooms are set up for girls for the most part. They don't understand a lot of times that boys are different, girls are different. Boys don't like to sit still. Boys like to move around. They like to build and create things. But you ask yourself, how is your classroom set up? You expect that boy to sit down in that seat all day and not to move? And then if they move and they're active, we say they got special education needs and things like that, or they got discipline problems. See, we have to change how we set up curriculum and instruction in our school systems, guys. So there go the problem. I bet you if we can actively recruit more men in education, things will change just like that. We have to find strong men in education who look like those boys, in a lot of cases who don't look like those boys, but who can be a man. See, it's not just about learning. It's also about modeling, I guess what I call man behavior for these boys so they can see how a man is supposed to be and build those strong relationships with those boys. That will help a lot. They need to see men. They need to see mentors. The teachers who are teaching, we have to teach to our boys' learning styles. If they learn differently, don't teach the same way. That's why teachers are struggling in the classroom, because we're teaching the same way. Boys and girls are different. We have to understand that. So you just can't go in and just teach one way all the time. That's not going to work. You have to find what learning style fits better for the boys. And it matters. That goes on with literacy as well. We have libraries with a whole bunch of girl books. Or the librarian or the teacher may select a book for the boys where, think about it. My son even told me, nobody want to read no book about Cinderella. He's right. What's wrong with him reading a book about an astronaut, a football player, crickets, black pride, so he can see somebody that look like him, and he can see the great architects, philosophers who are brown that look just like him, to motivate him and encourage him. These are things that will help with our boys. We have to find literacy in books that they can relate to and that they can love. So what do we talk about today, guys? So there are a few things we talked about so far when we talk about the school to prison pipeline. Me, number one, always build a good foundation at the home. Yes, a great foundation. We cannot take responsibility off the home. Number two, many people are growing up in single parent households. I strongly believe that the father needs to play a role. Fathers got to come back home now. We got to come back home and take care of our boys and girls. I didn't say you had to go back and marry the mom. I said come on back home, play an active role in your child's life. Build strong relationships, model good behavior, show him what a man is supposed to do. We talked about the school system. School systems, I think, should recruit heavily African American male teachers and male teachers in general. We have to have more male teachers in our schoolhouse to model good behavior, to be able to manage behavior and things like that in the classroom. I say it again. I think the teachers are doing a good job, but just imagine if you're putting 80% or more are mostly female teachers in front of these boys, what do you think the result is going to be? We're going to get the same results that we've been getting. You have to build that bond and build that relationship with our boys as well. Last thing, literacy. Libraries need to have books that relate to our boys. They got to have books where they see people who look like them. I mean, why would they feel to have value? Why would they feel any value to their lives if they are looking at books and curriculums that don't have anything to do with African American boys? I wouldn't be excited either. It would turn me off as well. So just think about those key points today. This is just snippet number one, series number one of probably a 10-part series. Hope this was helpful to you. I'm looking forward to dialogue. Thank you.